Well, hello, Pilates people. Julia Hartstein back here, Romana's Pilates certified level 4 instructor. I'm a teacher of teachers, and it's been a minute since I started teaching you the wall. I taught you a very basic version, and I would like to go over the different parts of the wall that we can do. I had taught you the very basic version about putting yourself on the wall and standing off. There are three parts to the wall. One part is called circles, one part is called peel off, and the third part is called skiing. So let's go over a few of those. Apparently Anthony is going to help. He'll be walking around in the background because he's just looking to get fed. So he shouldn't bother us. What you want to do, you want to find a wall that you can slide on. Now, my wall it's got flat paint on it. If you have a wall with flat paint on it, you might want to try to get something like a sweatshirt or a towel just so you can slide depending on the clothing you're wearing, because sometimes it can feel a little sticky. It will slide. New York, that was never a problem. And you want to make sure that you're comfortable in your feet and on the floor. So right now I have bare feet going on. You want to be careful of wearing socks that are too slippery because you want to make sure you have a grip. So if you have those socks with the stickies on the bottom, those might be a little bit safer for you to do. Preferably you want bare feet. If you feel like you don't have a lot of control in your feet, right? Maybe you're older, there's a little neuropathy going on in the feet, or they've had issues of being broken, or what's the word? I'm thinking hammer toe. It's not coming to me. Just be aware and make yourself comfortable. I'd rather you be comfortable than not completely getting to do the exercise. Does that make sense? It's better to work within your body than just kind of trying to work within your body because of other elements. And you can feel this out and where you find a space. So I have taken a wall over here and I'm going to put my clip up, my hair up in a very sexy manner, I'm sure. I just want to get it out of the way so you can see what my neck and shoulders will look like up against the wall. All right, see, told you it would be sexy. So let's find our wall. Most important part of the wall, right, is that our lower back is getting flat on the wall. And you want to just take a moment to address the wall and make sure that you're thinking about that and where you're placing yourself. And now when you put yourself up against the wall, the most important part, as you can see here, right, we don't want any space in there. You want to make sure, particularly from your rib cage to the top of your hips, yes, it's okay, put your fingers in there and dig, find the spots where the bottom of your rib cage is and the top of your hips. And you want to make sure you're feeling this against the wall. Now, when I first started the wall, and I should also talk about your stance should be for your body, right? Many people work heels together, toes apart. That's a wide V. Or you can work parallel. If you're also feeling a little weak, you could probably work with your feet parallel and feet and knees together, which isn't technically parallel, but it's to work a little bit on strength depending on the person. I would suggest either heels together, toes apart, or parallel. Hopefully you can see that in the video. Now, you want to find where you are on the wall. As you can see, I'm not really bent in my knees too much, and I'm not too far away from the wall. When I first started the wall, I was such a sway back where my hips pushed out. I literally had to do this to get up against the wall, and this was my wall, right? Because it's about getting this spot on the wall. That's the most important part. If you look like this, that is okay, and that is what you are working on, and you're just going to be working on that, right, to get off. That will be your focus. It's more important to work that spot because the hard part is to keep that all the way up. As we walk up, the back wants to leave the wall, right? It wants to do, we want to do all this funky stuff with the body. And that's the most important spot. I think when I first started, I still was like very much rounded forward like that, but this was against the wall. That is okay. You just try to lift this the best you can, press off and walk away. It's not important that you're completely straight at first. That's not going to happen because it took a very long time for your body to get the way it is now. You need to work up to what you're looking to change. So again, let's go over the wall. We learned the basic part of the wall where you're just setting up your stance and your lower back. I'll get to a spot that's about right. And this is also why you want your feet to be comfortable, right? I don't want to be too slippery where I'm sliding. So, first part of the wall we have now set up against the wall, correct? First part is circles. You want to think about your Pilates box, shoulder to shoulder, hip to hip lines connecting, and you want to think about a little bit of a smaller box in there, your shoulders to the bottom of your rib cage. Because as we move our arms, our rib cage likes to get involved, right? And it's none of its business. You want to be able to move your arms separately. This is where a lot of our neck and shoulder injuries can come from. So you just want to pay attention to that. And the idea is that you're moving your arms without letting this happen. And also notice as I'm doing that, my head's not touching the wall. People who are super advanced in their bodies don't do this. Can you see how I'm forcing and it's hard then to keep that on? Right? My body wants to do that. This is more important. Your head does not touch the wall. Do not worry about that. If you notice yourself doing it, take your head off and readjust your body. Again, this is the most important part in Pilates. So back to our circles. You're going to reach your arms forward and up. Now, depending on the person, this is maybe all you're going. You're going to open and bring them down. You do 3 to 5 of these. The goal is to work yourself up to bringing the arms up without the body moving. Because the further we bring the arms up, the more we have to feel this relax down away from this spot. And one more. Right? Even I'm moving a little forward because I'm a little tight in my upper back. I can start pulling this in and working this up. And then you would reverse the circles. You'll open to your sides, up and forward. Now again, you might not have that range of motion. That's not important. Maybe you're just doing it here and nothing else is moving. You can always make it bigger. It's not, you don't have to go to the goal right away, right? We work up to the goal. So that is your circles. Peel off is next. And again, this is the most important part of the body. When you're peeling off, you're looking to take your head forward. And then rounding forward one vertebrae at a time, trying to keep the lower back on the wall. Now you'll notice a whole chunk of vertebrae are going to want to come off at the same time. When you notice that, put them back up and then just try to take 1 or 2 off. So I'm feeling very tight at the moment. So I can only get down to about here. Some people who are getting stronger and more flexible will be able to go further without taking a whole piece off. Did you notice a whole piece came off? You'll be able to articulate that as you go down. Some people might not even get as far as this. You might be up here. That is okay. This is the most important part. You go to where your body needs. It's about your body and what you need. From here, you just let yourself stay there, keeping yourself anchored at your powerhouse. Just circle your arms. And they can be very lackadaisical circles. I always joke around that, you know, pretend you're holding all the shopping bags as you're coming in from the supermarket, right? Because you want to make that one trip. Just feel them real heavy. You can even make little fists in your hands if you'd like. And or you can hold weights. These can also be done with weights. 1 to 2 pounds is the most in Pilates. And then what you're going to do, you roll back up, 1 vertebrae at a time. Notice how low I'm going even though I didn't peel off that far, right? Maybe I should put my hand here just so you can see. Start here to roll up. Getting all the vertebrae up, right? And keeping this on, don't let that happen. Keeping this. Now we'll go for skiing. So what you're going to do, you put your hands onto the wall. And you're going to walk your feet out further than they are for you, wherever that is, because you want to get an angle that you can slide down. And this, excuse me, is where you're going to want a towel, a sweatshirt, possibly behind you. So what you're going to do, the goal is to lower down your hips to your knees. Now, depending on where you are in your body and your ailments, you might not go down that far, and that's okay. This is a great leg strengthening. It helps to strengthen your knees. What you're going to do is you're going to slide down and the arms go up. Now again, depending on the person, this is more the full range of motion, right? Because notice this didn't come off the wall. That has to stay on the wall. And then this is what's going to pull me back up the wall. These engage, which this might be the hard part, and I might choke myself in my shirt, right? And then the arms go down. Because the idea is that the arms and legs go at the same time. Again, let's just say you have some injuries in the shoulders and the knees. Maybe you do it here, right? It doesn't have to be a lot. And then you use the powerhouse to slide back up the wall. Again, these would be three. I think we normally did 3. It might be 3 to 5. I'd have to look at my notes. Depends on what you want to work. Right? You want to keep that powerhouse flat. Don't let the body arch. Keep it in and stretch the arms from there. And then using your powerhouse and your legs to slide back up. Put your hands on the wall. Now, depending on your stance, because I didn't specifically say, if you're heels together, toes apart, you're going to want to open parallel for this exercise, no matter what. But when you're done, you can go back into heels together, toes apart. Taking your time, again, remember, this is the most important part. And you can do this incrementally, or in increments, probably that's proper English. Bring one foot back and the other foot back, and sliding up the wall to where that's comfortable. Now, also too, always watch your stance. You don't want your feet to go all over the place. Just tend to notice, take a look every once in a while. Because it's very important, Pilates, is to watch your own body. Because it's going to do something that it's used to doing and you think that's correct and you're like, oh wow, that's really off. And again, walk back and slide up the wall. And walk back and slide up the wall. The whole idea is to keep this. I know it feels like your bottom gets in the way. Trust me, your bottom is not as big as you think. Make sure you're feeling your heels. A lot of people like to lift their heels. Leave your heels down. Try to feel your tailbone go underneath you. And walking back till you touch the wall. This is the goal. You might be just a hair off where I was right before I touched the wall. That's okay, because I can already feel myself really having to work this. Again, it might not look like it to you, but I'm a little tight. Use your hands to press off the wall. Keep looking in front of you and press your hips off the wall. Try to make, when you take your hips off the wall, that the rest of the body goes. When you're here, try not to do this, right? You don't want to change the body. The point is to keep this length in the body. And you're going to walk away tall and lifted. So you're going to reach out to me. Ooh, let's change this a little bit. There we go. That's a little better. You are going to reach out to me with any questions, concerns. If you have an ailment or injury that you're not sure about, reach out. I'm here. I believe if you message in the messages, I'll get the email. Or if you want to reach me directly first, Julia@clinginggracepilates.com. I would love to hear you and I would love to talk to you and help. And I am here. I'm excited to give you more videos. I believe every Tuesday I will be doing this. Actually, I shouldn't say that. I will be doing this every Tuesday till I get the videos out that are needed and answering any questions. So much love to you. Many blessings. Bye.